Namassarvebhya. Namo Namo Acharya. Today I will be asking Dr. Varsha Sarda some more questions about execution of Vagyajna Kulam's Gurukul system. So my first question is that in our Gurukulam we are incorporating traditional learning methods along with modern education. What are the ways of integrating these two approaches or methods?
Actually, the approach of Gurukul is lived. It is not informed. It is not told. But students are in that. They are switched to learning way, as we know from the beginning. We have discussed that they go to the learning mode where they take themselves as responsible. They count themselves responsible for their own learning. So further it comes that what should I do? So those type of activities and experiences and series of experiences are happening in Gurukul constantly with acharyas. And gradually it happens that they are understanding our ancient thought process about each and every field. For example, how would I increase my word bank?
Okay.
So these are the books here. How they will be referring. Acharyas refer to these books and approaches in the beginning. So approaches are developed through examples taken from these books.
Okay.
So students are directly reading these books? No. Sometimes they go for. Sometimes they are allowed to read. Sometimes they will complete also any book from these. So this might happen. But it depends on them, their urge, their learning urge. They want to complete themselves. And it is totally their responsibility.
Okay.
So if one wants to increase his word bank, child thinks that I would increase my word bank. So we'll give tool to them. What is that tool? For example, this is Amaro Kosha, very ancient Kosha. Where now this is very Jirnam, old one. But in Amara Kosha, we get options in shloka of one word.
Yes.
So that if one shloka is said, they'll get 8 to 10 names for one thing. So this is the way to get optional words. Correct. And remember them and enjoy them.
Correct.
So enjoying language will be the tool of collecting words. And without efforts itself, so tool itself is provided. Then for example, if they want to develop themselves, their approach towards maths, their mathematical thinking is to be developed. So what is done? So in their mother tongue, some problem solvings are given, and they themselves they create mathematical problems. And again this Leelavati is referred, and there the mathematical problems are there. Those problems are read, and according to that they'll form their own problem. So in their own language, doesn't matter that they'll always do it in Sanskrit itself. It won't go. 80% for communication Sanskrit is used, but they are not forced to document everything in Sanskrit like that. No. They'll read from the Leela. They'll be capable to refer Leelavati, and the acharyas will help them. Right. And they'll form one maths problem as if it is in Leelavati. So by which approach the life is connected with mathematical problems. That approach is lived by students. So this is about word bank, this is about maths approach, Ganitam. Again, this is what? This is your knowing about programs, how program operates when you refer to Shastra.
So wait a minute. You are using some words that are from software. You're specifically using the word program.
Yes,
so
yes.
Can you please elaborate a little bit more?
Yes. For example, now this is Ashtadhyayi. In Ashtadhyayi, sutras are given, and according to sutras, how sutras will operate, according to that we can do Shabda Siddhi.
Correct.
Now child wants to know that from where this word comes. So this is the approach, very Sanskrit approach, that every person wants to know that from which dhatu this word has come, from which process this word is created. So first is from which dhatu.
Correct.
And by which process. So there are two aspects.
Yes,
huh?
yes,
So
absolutely.
they'll understand dhatu first. So for that the dhatu patha is there. Here I'll show this then after.
Later.
So we teach child to see the dhatu, and then we'll tell them to understand the process. So very simple processes are there. So very simple processes are introduced from the beginning, and this is the program behind creating the word. So to teach approach towards Shastra, every thought has its program. You know, each and every siddhanta, every principle, any principle you go follow in any Shastra or any bank of knowledge or school of thoughts, there it has some background. That is one typical program. So you are supposed to understand that first. So this habit is developed among the children, that you cannot ask any question anywhere without knowing any program about the thing.
It is very, very interesting to me that you're using the word program repeatedly, which is amazing.
For example, if you want to read Panchatantra, you want to know the background that this Panchatantra was written for some prince who were there, Rajakumaras. And those were Murkha. Means those were fool. They were gone fool, and all were complaining about them that they are foolish students. I mean, they are not students at all, and they are not ready to learn. So they had come out of learning mode. They were not ready to learn anything from the world, and they were aggressive. So now we cannot treat each and every child like he is aggressive and he is out of his learning mode. We cannot treat them like that. So directly teaching them Panchatantra like this is, I think that this is insulting to them. That we are imposing that they don't understand anything. They are not ready to learn. So this is not the way. So this is the program of Panchatantra. This is the background of Panchatantra, where some foolish things are done, and for that solutions are provided. So till the child is not doing foolish thing, you cannot take for granted that he is doing some foolish things. So this is one example of programming. Some background is there and some references are there. You are not supposed to forget them. And some processes are there, methods are there for each and every Shastra to learn. For example, for Leelavati, you are supposed to know that Sankhyanam Vamato Gati. From Vamato Gati, Sankhya is explained. What is meant by that? You are supposed to understand. So if you don't understand that, that is the program of learning maths by ancient method. So this approach is developed amongst children, that you are supposed to understand the background first. You are supposed to understand the atmosphere first, where the school of thought is developing the principle, or it is developing the path of thinking.
Correct.
So that path of thinking is not without background. So this habit is incorporated amongst them. So for that, there are typical very, very deep methods with which we are working with the students. So now this is Ashtadhyayi of Panini, where you cannot ask any word from where it has come. No, you are supposed to think, you are supposed to open Dhatu Patha, see Dhatu Patha from where it has come and what is the process to create that word. So this is the program of word Shabda Nishpatti. So this is also, once this approach is given, no child will ask you that how this word is used. You tell me. No, he will always be thoughtful to
think about it first.
And then he has tools in hand. Dhatu Patha is in hand. So everything is there. There are tools, and you can behave on your own. Very bravely, you can go further. Take steps for learning. So this is our ancient approach. That tools are provided and you are not taught. So you are taught to learn, you are taught to use the tools.
Not the actual information.
Yes, information is not taught, then you will forget everything. If you built up, then that is constructivism. So if you built up your knowledge, these are the tools. And how to use this? The approach is same for all the Shastras. Approach is same. You know the background, know the process, know the program, know the way of path of thinking, and accordingly if you think, you will get the answers. Like that. Yes. Now this is there. Upanishad. In Upanishad also one program is there where you are dealing with your life. Your life is totally incorporated with this nature. You are not separate from that. This is the program of Upanishad. So your child is always taught. If you want to understand Upanishad, you will have to count yourself amongst these trees, amongst this nature.
Right.
You are small part and parcel, small spot in this nature. If you accept this, then you will understand Upanishad. So these stories are taught to means the tool is there. How will you see this world? This tool is there. Upanishad is a tool to see towards the world. Just like this, Ashtadhyayi is a tool to understand the programming of words. Now, this Leelavati is a tool to understand the mathematics, how it is connected to your life. So, like that, tools are provided.
Yes.
For example, now this is their history. Now, when we talk about history, see, Jnana Nidhi and Itihasa, we are supposed to separate it always.
Jnana Nidhi, Itihasa.
So history is documentation, sequential happenings are there. But because of that, what kind of knowledge system is preserved or knowledge system is inculcated, and what kind of knowledge system has come to us, that is totally different. That Jnana Nidhi, you are supposed to respect it, you are supposed to separately go through it. For example, management of Shivaji Maharaj is totally a different Jnana Nidhi.
Absolutely, yes.
And what happened in his life sequentially, that is Itihasa. That has happened. So always we provide them tool to see towards history. While you are learning history, you are supposed to know from where this Jnana Nidhi has come. And for that you are knowing that sequence. Then they'll remember the sequence.
It is very fascinating that nobody even thinks about, when they're thinking about history, they're just thinking about the documentation. This separation that you just talked about is beyond.
Yes. So this is there, no? That always it is said that why to remember the sequence, what happened, why to remember.
I remember my days.
So, so we always it is said that this is your duty. We should preserve our history. Why to preserve? Why? Because I am getting all these tools because of my history. These tools are with me because of my Jnana Nidhi. And that Jnana Nidhi has come to me through these historical happenings. And naturally I am eager to know them, and I am eager to remember the sequence.
Correct.
So this naturally it happens that we start remembering all the kings and what has happened, and so this is the tool to understand history.
Yeah, but this distinction you just made is never part of any other education system.
Yes. This is very, very important approach towards history, which is there in Puranas, where you have the reason to know the sequence. If you have the reason to know the sequence, then you are not supposed to mug up the sequence.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
So,
those flashbacks are coming to me where I...
yes. This is there. We have suffered a lot. So now this is there. 47 te 57. This is 57 te 47. This is our freedom struggles history. Very small incidences are given, which happened, and they are they are giving facts about our freedom struggle. So this is in Marathi, and students read them in Vachan Katta. Their reading circle is there, and there this is read. So by now, whichever book you read, by which approach do you read it? So this is that approach itself is developed. Then they are too eager to read the book. So today, you know that we are sovereign and how we are surviving today. We can take our own decisions.
Correct.
This is taught in Sabha and Samiti in Gurukul, that you can take your own decisions. On which basis? On the basis of your knowledge bank. You will take the decisions. Why are we free to take these decisions? This is the background. You know the background for this. If you are enabling yourself to take the decisions, this is the reason behind. We are there to read the reason behind. Then they are eager to know what Krantikarikas, what revolutionaries have done. So this approach is developed.
Yeah, if you don't give them the reason behind, then it is they will not learn.
Yes. And on the top of it, I will say that we are not giving the reason, we are building the reasoning. Right? We are building the reasoning, they get the reason. They themselves leave the reason and then they start learning. This is there. This is our ancient Gurukul approach. That reasoning is not provided. You build up your reasoning and you cannot stop building your reasoning, Once you develop your habit, you cannot stop building your reasoning, and you have reason to take bath also.
Yes. Well said.
So this is our life, no? Indian life. We have reason to do sandhya. We have reason to. Now, this is Prachin Aitihasik Kosh. Here, this is a dictionary, and if you want some information, we can get that information. At what time, what happened. You're supposed to open and see, because if you once you're curious, you want to know. You need kosha.
Right.
You know dictionary. You need to know. Need to have it. So this is the tool. Then Jnaneshwari is also referred. See, Jnaneshwari is referred through Marathi language, where language is old. Jnaneshwari's language is old, and why the language has changed. That is taught in Ashtadhyayi's learnings. So they understand that how language changes and how Sanskrit has not changed, and how Prakrit language changes. So while learning that language, some examples are taken from Jnaneshwari, and daily Jnaneshwari is read in Gurukul. Being in Maharashtra, this is a regional impact that we have Sadguru Jnaneshwar Maharaj in our region, and he is our Sadguru, and we give this approach to students that what is basic need of their life is right direction to live their daily life.
Absolutely, yes.
So to get that direction, that philosophical atmosphere is given through Jnaneshwari. So Jnaneshwari is read daily. So this is the tool to think of.
Right.
Then this is Bhagavata Puranam. Here very scientific references are taken from Bhagavata Puranam, from our Big Bang theory, then how this Srishti is created, then how, so every information is there in Bhagavata Puranam. So whatever you have question, you open Bhagavata Puranam and read it, and you will get the answers. So this is there. So this is the power of Bhagavata Puranam. This is Mahapuranam in all 18 Puranas. So this is referred most of the times for discussing, this global happenings. What is happening in this astral bodies, and what is happening in Prithvi, what is happening in Surya, and how these grahas are operating, and who we are there. To understand this, and to understand sequence of, this world. all the parts of globe,
Motions
how
of
those
globe,
are there.
right.
All the information is there in Bhagavata Purana, in all the yugas, and how this Kali Yuga has come to us, and why the swabhava or nature of Kali Yuga is like this. So that is, if that is understood, then students, they always they are provided that this tool, that if you want to know about our Jambudvipa, open Bhagavatam, know how Jambudvipa was created, how Srishti was created. We get all the references. So by the help of acharyas, they open it and read it.
Right.
Yes. Now this is Burhat Dhatu Rupavali, as I told. When they are eager to know that which is the dhatu, every time this is taught, that most of times for kriya or for searching vyutpatti of words, you are supposed to refer dhatu 80%.
Correct.
Though some words are not from dhatus, at least dhatus will help them to understand.
Correct.
So this is also taught.
So Dhatu
So
Rupavali
this is
along with Paniniya.
Ashtadhyayi.
Ashtadhyayi.
Yes, yes. So this is not directly those. Once this tool is given, how much the child will use that tool, it depends on him.
Correct.
So you will not restrict them. That you just now, you are very small, you are not supposed to use this. They are always target oriented. So if they are not target oriented and they are referring many books, this should not happen in Gurukul. No, that they are not target oriented and referring many books just out of curiosity. This won't happen. So most of the times it is asked that why are you doing this? Always why is there. Why are you doing this? If you are sitting here for 2 hours and reading, you have the reason behind why are you doing it. If you know that I am enjoying it, then you should know that you are enjoying it. That's why you're doing it, just for Ananda. Then no problem. You know it that you're doing it Ananda. Don't pretend that you're doing it for knowledge. So know it you're doing it for Ananda, not for knowledge. I'm doing it for knowledge, not for Ananda. Then that perseverance will come. So every time you should know that what do you do has some reason. I should know it. On my level, anytime Acharya will ask me, I have answered. So this is very honest, atmosphere maintained constantly, and we talk by that way itself with the child. Now this is Vidyadhari, written by Devadatta Patil Sharmanaha. He is having Shastra Mahapathashala in Goa, and he has written Vidyadhari on Tarka Sangraha. Tarka Sangraha is Balanam Sukhabodhaya Kriyate Tarka Sangraha. So, very basic text of Nyaya Shastra. But now in Kali Yuga, this has happened. That Nyaya Shastra, we are away from Nyaya Shastra. So Tarka Sangraha has become difficult in this modern world. So Vidyadhari he has given. And this is also referred to teach them path of thinking. So you should not miss your thinking method of thinking. If you lose the method of thinking, then your wrong thinking can waste your time. So that might happen. So this is the basic training of how do you think, what kind of thinking path is with you. And Ramayanam, Srimad Valmiki Ramayanam. This is there, and here Rama is Valmiki has wrote Ramayanam, where Rama is very, very, very ordinary person. He's Rajakumara, but he's so down to earth, and he accepts each and every situation so positively.
Right.
It is learnable,
Absolutely.
Yes. So for that, students, if they feel that I want to refer how Rama behaved in dash situation, so stories are told, and they want to see. Correct. They can open it directly. Right. And read. So Sanskrit is taught to the extent where they can directly read our scriptures. And there is no compulsion that in this age you should know this. No. Knowing is not will not prove your capability.
It's not considered as a milestone.
Yes. Knowing is not your milestone. You might know much about Ramayana, less about Leelavati. You might know much about Leelavati, less about Ramayana. Doesn't matter. What is your approach towards it is most important. What is your approach towards maths? What is your approach towards itihas? What is your approach towards geography? What is your approach towards science? What is your approach towards modern science? So that approach itself is developed and habits are developed by which always they define their path and walk further. So this is done.
Excellent.
Yes.
I mean, this is wow.
Yes.
This is exhaustive list and excellent.
Yes.
I guess in the question I had mentioned something about modern education. So we are living in this Gurukul atmosphere
Yes.
where there are traditional methods, but we are incorporating modern education. So what are the pathways of this integration?
See, knowing English is first step.
Yes.
Yes. So they know English as a tool. As I can change my book, like that I will change my language.
Okay.
So, so it is possible to change languages, and it is possible to operate in languages as if it is like my mother tongue.
Okay.
It's possible. So this experience is provided.
Okay.
So you use Hindi as if it is your mother tongue.
Correct.
You use English as if it is your mother tongue.
Okay.
Most of times, if Marathi is your mother tongue, you should, if you can use other language like your mother tongue, you start respecting that language.
Yes.
If you use that language like mother tongue, it naturally happens that you respect that language and you are eager to know what has happened in that language. Methodologically, how words are developed, and methodologically how literature is developed. So this is one step about languages, modern languages, and modern essence of modern education is given. For example, what is characteristic and what are the features?
What is characteristics?
What is characteristic and what are the features?
Features. Okay.
For example, what is guna and what is guna dharma?
Wow. Okay.
Yes. For example, the child sits on the time and eats properly. He is very guna sampanna. He has guna. And we are ready for trip and we want to go very fast and he is eating slowly and so slowly eating might be guna for one time and might be durguna for one time.
Correct. Yes.
So guna changes.
Yes.
This is a feature.
Guna.
But
okay.
But some gunas are there which will not change at any time. For example, water flows downwards.
Yes. Yes.
This is
It's
one.
an eternal truth. It was true yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yes. Yes.
This is guna dharma. So if you segregate this world in guna and guna dharma, you will understand what are the time features for time being and what are the characteristics. So most of times you see this world by the approach of what are the characteristics, what are the guna dharmas and what are the gunas.
Gunas.
So if you want to study about water, you will understand guna dharmas and you will understand gunas. If you want to learn about jungle, you will understand guna dharmas, you will understand gunas. If you want to know about traffic, you will understand guna dharma, you will understand about guna. If you want to know about food habits, you will understand guna dharma and you will understand about gunas. Everywhere this tool is provided to understand the essence of modern education, where information is not provided. You understand what is guna dharma. Guna Dharma will help you to understand things thoroughly, and Gunas will help you to use them.
Beautiful distinction.
Yes.
Very.
Yes. So Gunas will teach you to use them, you know. Why do you need features? You need features to use the things.
It's the usability factor.
And if you want to know the features, you'll have to understand Gunadharma's characteristic.
Nirantaram.
Yes. This is the essence of modern education, which is given by Gurukul approach. And by that way, they decide that should I learn computer? What are the features and what is the characteristic? If I want to learn skating, I'll understand Gunas, I'll understand Gunadharmas. If I want to learn modern science, how hydrochloric acid behaves, I'll understand Gunas, I'll understand Gunadharmas. Every time, everywhere, if this approach is given, information becomes meaningful. And then I can segregate very easily which information is usable for me just now and which is not usable just now.
And I guess just to extrapolate the same thing, they might be able to distinguish which is not to be learned now and what it needs to be learned now.
So naturally it happens, you know, that what is useful, that is done very fast.
The speed is there.
I need this, no? I need this. See, tomorrow I want to drive truck, I need to know everything. So I'll know it. If I have swimming competition tomorrow, I'll need to know the rules. I'll know them. So every time the reason is there, and they'll build up their knowledge, and they'll get modern information. So they are very fast. They are very, prompt to know about modern world. If tomorrow I am driving car, I'll know all the traffic rules. If I am making substitute today, I'll know what is to be done. And by this practical information itself, those informations are permanently stored. So one type of information is enough to operate with many situations. Many situations. So different situations and different information is not provided. One situation lived with bright reason, then you are capable of being in many situations.
You not necessarily need experiences from different situations.
Yes,
it is not necessary.
It is not necessary. Once they understand that what is the Gunadharma of oxygen and Pranavayu, Gunadharma of oxygen and what is the Gunas of oxygen, they'll understand how this Prithvi is having atmosphere and why we are surviving here. They can put the link
by themselves.
By themselves. Then they'll apply that knowledge to Prithvi also, Gunadharma and Gunas. For atmosphere, Gunadharma and Gunas. Antariksha, Akasha. Everywhere they can apply this. So this is, tool which is provided, and this is made habitual to the kids. So it happens that they become knowledge oriented.
Not information.
Yes, and well disciplined, That is, they are totally in Atma Anushasanam.
Atma Anushasanam.
Yes. So they are not given discipline by outer
agency.
No way. Outer instructions. No way. They are in Atma Anushasanam because they always in thought of Guna and Gunadharmas. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'm out of questions.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Namo Namaha. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to sit down with you and discuss this beautiful journey. Thank you everyone. Namassarvebhyaha. If you like our videos, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.